How do you learn who you really are? It's not found in books, it's found on the battlefield. What's up, everybody? We are live today.
Yeah.
Say hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
I like it. So I'm with my baby today. So if you guys are listening to this, we're going to have the actual audio loaded up on the battlefield of the mind, and we're going to go live on TikTok right now, and we are going to do Q&A and what we are going through right now. And today I want to talk about some of the big battles that we've got going on and how we're planning on going into battle to face them. So we've been bringing up a lot of stuff on our lives, the stuff that we do. But today I am going to talk about our declaration of war.
Awesome.
We have declared war, and we're going to start making a lot more noise about this because we have been for a long time. I was trying out the different PA system to see if that worked. Let's just say that's a fail.
Better? Nice. Majestic ocean sound.
That did not work out.
That must have been my singing.
Baby, give him a couple chords here.
I can't do that on TikTok. I will go viral.
Yeah, it's true. It's too good.
So good.
Any case, now that we are no longer making the weird sounds that we had, we are recording now live for the Battlefield of the Mind, and we are going to be doing a live Q&A with you guys. And so we are here to share what we are going to be working on for fighting anxiety. We have been helping a lot of people actually beat it. This isn't a quick cure. This is the actual cure. And we are helping people get off of their medication. They're like, I have beaten the reason why my anxiety was starting. I understand how it works. And we are helping people. And we created a very low ticket offer and a high ticket training to do so.
Yeah.
And it's working. I have testimonial after testimonial of people who had panic attacks, who were paralyzed by anxiety. They had to call off work. They were done for the day. Their energy was drained from it. People who were so anxious all the time. And we are helping them actually beat it. Do the real work so they don't need to be on medication and they don't need to be crippled by this over and over again.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of what we've been working on. So click the link in our bio if you're like, I want to be a part of this. The first 100 people that get our low ticket offer will be in my high ticket training, and I'll be doing a live Q&A for multiple sessions to help people beat it. I'll be helping them go step by step on how it works, how to beat it, and how to practice over and over again.
Yeah.
You will not be alone.
Absolutely.
And so we just made this, and we're going to be doing something badass with it.
I love it. Not only are they getting the information, but they have access to you doing live trainings for them, which I think is absolutely incredible. And when you click the link in the bio and you decide to sign up and buy this program, we have a little coupon code for you. Can I tell them?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, it's called FIGHT, or it's not called. The coupon code is FIGHT. So if you put that on, when you click on there, you're going to see one price. When you put in the FIGHT code, it gives you 50% off.
There's more.
Yeah. So people are paying a significant amount of money to be able to have you coach them. And I mean, what an incredible opportunity, especially, $250 to be able to help with anxiety. I mean, that's some people's medication costs just to maintain anxiety once a month. So very, very, very exciting to see how this goes.
Yeah.
Again, for the first 100 people.
It's crazy cheap for what we're doing. This should be thousands of dollars easily. And people would pay, they charge a lot more if it's like one appointment.
It's life-changing. I mean, you can't really put a price tag on that.
Yeah, so we've been doing a lot of stuff to do this, and it's working. We're actually working. It's like I've got testimonial after testimonial globally. Men, women, different cultures, different races, doesn't matter. It keeps on working.
Yeah.
And I've actually been on a few podcasts now for it. I was just on the Anxious and Ambitious podcast because she's a psychologist in anxiety, and she's like, I've never heard anybody doing what you're doing. And so pretty remarkable stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty tough.
Absolutely. So feel free, if you guys have any questions on that or any other topics, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll keep my eye on it and make sure we get to all of your questions as much as we can.
And
so
hopefully if it's in my field, like gardening with spirit, any tips for autistic couples? I don't really work with special needs couples like that. I can't really say that that's my field. So I don't know what a tip would be except for, I don't know, love each other for who you are. I got nothing. I have no idea what the question would imply or what the problem would be. But yeah, I don't really work with autistic couples. It's not my field. Usually what I work through is people who are going through a lot more trauma stuff, pain stuff, going through the curses from the past. This is generational curses. A lot of parent work, a lot of fear, doubt, excuses, distractions, anxiety, depression, gets into anger, bargaining, denial, which is one of the tougher ones for people to break the curses from. And right now we're declaring war on anxiety. We have the step-by-step how to beat it. It plagues more than the statistics show. It says over 31% of people right now live with anxiety, but I know that a lot of people do not report. And there's a lot more.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and beat it. I'm going to start off with the frontline people. If you know somebody who's one of these people who I know somebody's on medication who wants to get off. They want to be done with this. They don't want to be crippled with this. They want it gone. If you have one of those people, grab this up, be one of the first 100, and I will be training live to help them go step by step on what needs to be done to get rid of anxiety.
Yeah.
And it's working. It really is.
So good. It's powerful.
We're gonna get canceled. The doctors are gonna be like these guys are killing the medication that pays my boat.
Right. Oh gosh. Someone said I was on meds for a month and never got a refill again. Yeah, I think that, not going into this too much, but researching some of the medicine that is out there, anxiety can come from so many different things. I know after I had my first daughter, I got really bad anxiety. It was really rough, and had a hard time dealing with that. So it's such an awful feeling if you're someone that is going through it, but you don't know how to manage it. At the time, I was 26 years old, so I'm like, I don't know what I need. I think I just need medicine, and it definitely is a real thing. And you're absolutely right. It is just a Band-Aid. It doesn't fix the core issue. And that's the biggest piece. You're just masking something. We don't know what this medicine is doing to our bodies. We just don't. Our minds. So.
Yeah. A lot of times the medication is there because someone's not going to do the work it takes to really help you get rid of it. I will.
Yeah.
I'll show you where it's at. I'll show you how it works, and I'll show you how to beat it. It's been working. There's a step-by-step that fills in all the gaps that people aren't finding. We figured it out, and it's working. And I can't wait to share it for it's pennies compared to what this is. Like you said, the cost of one refill.
Yeah.
But Corey, I see you had to go through it too, and I'd love to work with you guys. I'm going to do a very high ticket training at an entry level price. And I'm going to do this because it's out of need, not greed. This isn't us trying to get rich off this. This is not an amount of money to get rich off of. It's just not. But it's going to help a lot of people out. What am I looking for? I need people who believe that it can be beaten. If at any point in time they did not live with anxiety and this developed, and they believe my diagnosis is not my identity. If they believe that's what it is, then it can be beaten. But if they're no, I am anxiety, then people who don't want to do it, they won't work.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so test it out. And there's a lot of people who won't believe it. There's more naysayers than there are going to be people who are like, man, that seems like it's a real deal. But
they're supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be. I mean, think about how many people have been screwed over by stuff. If you saw something real, you wouldn't know what it was if you did see it. You wouldn't even know.
Absolute.
Thank you, Spooky Mulder.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you, too, on your...
Yeah. Thank you, Spooky.
Yeah, thanks, Spooky.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Danny, it's good to see you.
Yeah,
Can't
what's
have
up,
victim
Danny?
mentality. Logan says, desperately need help managing this CPTSD. I'm drowning and losing hope.
That one's a little bit tougher, Logan. If you can, I need you to book a call with us. Because see, there's a whole company I also work with, 220, and they work with it too. They go neuro-linguistic, I go more cognitive behavioral. And when we do those two different things together, we can reduce the triggers that are connected to what happens for your PTSD. They don't even call it PTSD anymore. They get rid of the D. They just go it's not a disorder, it's beatable. And they've helped thousands of people, and we've helped a lot of our guys even in here no longer have PTSD. Even some of the warriors who are in here right now, we've helped break out of some of those curses. So book a call and let's have a conversation. The first call is just free. Just grab a spot on the calendar and let's go ahead and talk and see if what we do helps you.
Yeah. Perry says, I'm a walking example of someone who was crippled by anxiety, and Rick helped me conquer it.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah, Perry's one of the strongest men in the world, and we have watched him completely beat it.
Yeah.
Good job. All right, what do we got? Logan's going through some stuff.
Yes. So Logan is saying,
Let's see.
oh, wait, no.
One.
Okay.
Okay, help him out.
Corey, I've done great with anxiety, but I still have trouble being alone at night. I work 90 plus hours.
That's a lot, man. Corey, you've been hustling, bro.
Yeah. So, Corey, I would have to ask, though, like you working 90 plus hours, do you feel like that somehow contributes to your anxiety, or do you find that you work to keep your mind busy?
I think, are you waiting for them to...
Work to stay busy.
Work to stay busy, yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough, and this gets into like the distraction part. This is probably more in your field for the Enneagrams. It sounds a little bit more 3-ish, trying to distract themselves by being busy doing work, but this could go any direction pretty
it can.
quickly.
It's sevens do the same thing. And, there's definitely certain personality types, me being one of them, that you stay so busy because you don't want to have to deal with the underlying issue, especially if you have anxiety too. It's easier to keep yourself busy, but you end up wearing yourself out. And it's, rather than stopping to cope with the issue or trying to figure it out, that takes time and energy. And it's easier just to spend your time and energy, focus on something that keeps your mind at busy. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah. It's tough too, being alone. After all the distractions can't be distractions anymore, all the work is done for the day and you're alone, it's pretty hard, man. Mm-hmm. What's your support system look like? Do you have like people that you can lean on, friends or family, people you can just call and just BS with, or anybody like that? Just seeing what your support system looks like, because it can be pretty tough. Otherwise, yeah, we're open for more questions.
Yeah, feel free.
Man, it's been a long time since we've been live.
It's been a couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, jeez. How do you deal with fear of abandonment? There's difference. I have to find out kind of what it is that you had to go through and then see the pieces that are connected to it. But being able to deal with fear of abandonment does have to deal with going through the loss that you went through to begin with, and then being able to identify what it is that you're afraid of, in connection to your grieving system, your fears, your feelings, to your beliefs. And then we have to rewire it to make sure it's authentic to you. But most people don't know what that means. So we have to do a little bit of work on, like, is this really your fears? Is this because somebody did a thing? How can we work through what it is that's cursing you through that? And it could be a fear from somebody doing something, or it could be simply you letting go of something that happened to you from a parent or whoever it was. I'd have to figure out who left. Mm-hmm. Like who put that fear in there, and that you're afraid that they're going to do it again. And this usually leads to people who are afraid to, like, get into commitments. It'll have a lot of fear for attachments, a lot of fear for made up possibilities of, oh, I don't want this to happen, I don't want that to happen. And so you'll protect yourself in different ways.
Yeah. Especially if you're in a relationship too and you haven't worked through it, you'll definitely try to push that person away without not even realizing it sometimes. Yeah. Corey says, I have a few friends, but with the work schedule, I don't have a lot left, which probably makes it harder to work on myself.
Yeah. And well, also it's tough if you don't have any skills or tools that you're practicing and you're all alone. It just makes it so you get isolated and you kick your own ass, most likely, when you're alone. Yeah.
But Corey, book a call, honestly, and just talk through it with Rick. Just like Spooky said, the first call's free. But seriously, click the link at the top, book a call, and just talk through it. This is not like no hard sales thing. It's not. So just to have a conversation might make you feel a little bit better, at least give you some direction and guidance.
Logan, ironically, they're both beaten the same way. I know people want to create, it really is, as much as you may not believe it, but I've had to beat my versions because I've gone through PTSD. A lot of my guys in here I've had women who have. Yeah. And I think this complex PTSD, people are just adding in a big thing where they try to make it so it's like an impossible version. It ends up getting beaten the same way. Mm-hmm. As much as it may be like, no, there's some big differences to it, it ends up being beaten the same way. Okay. And so, like, I don't mind having the conversation, but it comes down to belief systems. And when people are told this version is not able to be beaten, it makes it so that it happens that way. And yeah, I think Corey and I have talked. I just don't remember the
Okay.
conversation around like the isolation and the overworking. So I don't know
Yeah.
if that's a different thing or not.
But Corey, too, now that, we started this conversation tonight talk about the anxiety in the program that's now available online too, so you can do it at your own pace. But
Totally,
then,
it's a new thing.
yeah,
Totally new thing.
yeah, yeah. Um, Someone asked, my wife had an affair, Stephen. My wife had an affair a year ago, as I can see, due to my depression. How do I forgive her?
It's tough, man. It's tough because it's more like you are if you're depressed, most people don't understand depression, especially if there's no empathy in the dynamic and what it was that maybe triggered your depression. I don't know what loss happened, but there's a lot of stuff happening. Even a year ago with the whole COVID thing, people lost their job, people lost their livelihood, their businesses, their identities, and a lot of guys got their asses kicked when their business closed, and then they lost their identity, and people were like, "You're not that thing anymore," and they left. So it's pretty tough stuff. I'd have to know more of like what the triggers were for your depression. It may not be you who has to forgive her. It may be a part of, or maybe it's you who has to forgive her for not understanding, or maybe just even forgiving yourself. I'd have to know more about you. It's tough to say with just so little, but there's some pieces there that like what's going on needs to be addressed, but there's a loss that needs to be worked through for you. I need to know more. I'd have to know more information for you, Steve. It's hard to say with just one sentence, like, here's what you do, because it's complex. With depression, it's a little bit more complicated. And so you can't just go like, oh, well, you just have to think happy thoughts and then everybody's good. Like it's a little more complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so if you've been working through that and you've been in this like surrender mode and self shame, I'm sure there's a shame stack in you, Steve. We have to, work on that inner bully or else you're going to be stuck for life, man.
Yeah, Luke had a good solution about putting in an earpiece, but and listening, because I know that's what a lot of the guys do on the calls with you. He's like, he's not allowed to wear it. He's on the pipeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So Steven said sorry. Also, 31, so 15 to 20 years.
It's a long time, man. That's half your life, dude. That's more than half your life. Let's talk. I'll hang with you, Steve, and we'll do some work on it. We'll check it out and see if there's a thing that we can do to at least get you on the right path. And if we can help you out, then we will. And if you want to join us and be with our guys, we can always use another warrior, especially if you've gone through hell. When I teach you how to beat depression and how it works, you then are able to help other people. And this is the pay it forward, the ripple effect. Like, I'll teach you how it works and how to beat it, and then you'll meet other people who are stuck, and you'll be able to actually be helpful.
Yeah.
Instead of teaching coping, or how to deal, and that's not the answer.
Yeah.
But a lot of times with depression, it's a prevention before intervention. At some point, you hit apathy, and people have to come pull you out. It takes years if you have to do it on your own. But if you have a support system that's able to like help you just little by little, like clean the shit off so you can find yourself again, it makes it so you can rebuild. But it's a process. If it gets too deep, it's a process, and you have to rewire a lot of parts of yourself to be able to see you again. It's tough, especially if that depression has been there for that long. Your identity is routed in being that way, and people wouldn't even recognize you if you were truly, authentically happy again. They'd be probably pretty confused, like, who's this guy? So we have to work through quite a few things. Yeah, your support system is zero. Book a call,
So
man.
hard,
There's a bunch of my warriors on here tonight. And even guys who they're not even in the group, but we've gotten to hang out with. Like Snorlax is in here. We got Luke, we got Phil, we got, looks like,
Perry was on earlier.
yeah, Nick is on, Perry's on. We got a lot of our guys.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be on. I've gotten to talk with Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah, we look out for each other.
Some
So
good
Steven,
guys,
let's hang
yeah.
out, man. Let's talk about it and see if we got a spot for you. If this is where you want to be, yeah, we help people out. We'll help you.
Yeah.
We'll give you a place, or even just give you tools, man. Like I said, this is for need, not greed. We're not trying to get rich off of this. We just help people really learn themselves. And it's been underground. We've been underground for a long time. We just started going viral, and so we're trying to help people out with just authenticity. Not this isn't us trying to push bullshit. We really do help people, and I challenge people to challenge it. Have the phone call, see if it's legit.
Absolutely.
Good vibes only.
It says, I feel like I'm in the opposite of a support system. My surroundings are causing my depression and isolation.
Makes sense, and you're probably correct. And it's probably a few different things, because your surroundings and your people that you're around is it's in the link's in our bio, Stephen.
Just click the link and then you'll see the calendar and just pick a time that works for you.
Yeah, there's also, I put the link tree up in there too, but I think you have to copy paste that because I didn't make it so it's multiple websites. But that goes right to our website, and you can either just go down there. My calendar is right on the front page, or you can just grab the anxiety spot and be in the first 100. We just put this up like this week, so we already have people buying it up. Like we've already been getting people who are like, we want in on this thing.
Yeah, a lot of people are dealing with that.
Yeah, and so they're like, I want to get rid of this forever. So the depression part is actually a part of it, but we're fighting anxiety first, but it's in the program. But good vibes. Yeah, I'd have to know more about your system. Like, what is it? Work people? Is this your friend group? What kind of like support system you have right now that's giving you this depression? Let's see. Oh yeah, thank you, Danielle. It's awesome that you're here. I'm glad you're here with us. Thank you. She's like, they have Instagram too.
Yeah.
I gotta be real with you. You guys want to hear something funny? Like, I don't even manage that Instagram. I don't think I'm even logged into it. I think it's you. And then we have like our team is logged into it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a free for all, honestly. Like, I go in there sometimes to post, and I'm like, okay, stuff has already been posted, which is great. I mean, it's a team effort because none of us really have a ton of time, so just try to do it when we can.
Oh yeah,
Ron Clapper too.
that's all you. I haven't even been on that.
He's like, what is this? I'm like, we've been on here for like, I don't know, a couple months.
Cool. That's great. Family, husband, post-prison. He's sober now and found a giant finger to point and show my kids
Every
flaw. Hey, that is pretty tough too.
It's honestly destroying me. I can imagine.
Yeah, it's not an easy environment, especially if he's in an unhealthy state and trying to tear you down. How are you supposed to rebuild? I'll have a phone call with you and let's see if we can figure out your piece. But it's going to be really tricky because, like, I don't know how deep that goes. And then, what kind of husband is doing this to his girl? Like, what's going on here? Like,
going to be your ex-husband.
Yeah, but for that relationship
It's
dynamic, like, what's going on to have anybody go, let me just tear my person down? There's something else that's missing in the story. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Like, if he's post-prison or you're post-prison, because there's something
16
else.
to 20 years of developing lifelong connections with them, and he's burning it down. Oh.
He's going through something. But was he in prison or you were in prison? Who just got out?
Him.
Was it him? It says husband post-prison. Filed divorce while he was in prison. Yeah, odds are he's probably in a ton of pain, but he has to have this hard-ass exterior and blame everybody else and give his power away.
Yep.
Like, and that's his system of being able to have his guard up, or his defense is that I'm actually good, when he knows he's probably not. And so if he tears you down, you're going to be at his level. He wants you to do good, but not better than him. That's going to be a pretty tough scenario to break because there's no accountability. It's only going to be blame, blame, blame. That means he has nothing to work on. It's only you. And if you even subscribe to that at all, you're going to be getting torn to pieces. Really, Corey? Congrats, dude. Holy crap, man. You beat the charges? That's awesome, dude. Yeah, you had I remember. You had a bunch of BS on you, man. Dude, congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment, man. Way to go, dude. Way to go. That's great, man. Congrats, Corey. Big deal.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
I don't know the situation, but congratulations.
Yeah, fourth charge, same problem. Yeah, good vibes only. It doesn't sound like good vibes only are happening here.
Yeah, she's like, that's what I'm telling myself.
Yeah,
I get that. Yeah.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, just keep telling myself. Yeah.
Let's have the conversation. We can see what it is that you're up against, and then you can. And once you can see things a little bit more clearly, it gives you an easier way to handle it, because the choices there may be obscured by like fears or doubts or things that are there, and I don't know what your situation really is. I just know what the patterns usually look like for that. And so if he's already hurt and he's trying to project his pain to make you feel bad, like, that guy needs some help too. And so it's tough when hurt people start hurting people because it can get really difficult.
Yeah, she's like, that helps so much already. Isn't it interesting sometimes when people say things out loud to you and kind of give you confirmation? I'm sure you probably already knew some of that. You're like, okay, yep, I'm going in the right direction, or I need to change directions. Yeah. Question. Why do I feel more hesitant going into a new relationship now I'm older?
Let's actually Granny's Undies. That's a funny name, anyways. I like it. I actually would like you to take a shot at answering your own question. Why do you feel more hesitant going into a new relationship now that you're older? I think it's a great question, but I would like you to take first shot at it. What is it that makes you feel more hesitant about going into a new relationship? I actually give you honor on this one. That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Try and answer it.
What would it be for you?
It's a good question. Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Why do
No,
I
him.
Oh, yeah. Who is it?
You
I
don't see him? Just kidding.
I am not hesitant going into a new relationship because I'm in a good relationship.
Yeah.
So I don't. I don't.
I just think if I was going, I wouldn't want to. And I think the biggest thing is I wouldn't want to like ask the like basic questions. I don't want to talk to anybody about like general stuff like when's your birthday and stuff. I don't care. I would not want to do that again. That's exhausting to me.
Is that one of your date questions?
Yeah, it is.
When's your
birthday
birthday?
and what's your favorite color? It gets them every time.
Does it?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
I don't remember that conversation.
Just kidding. Okay. So Granny's Undies
Who's
says
them? It wasn't me.
him. Just kidding. I separated from previous 12-year relationship. Now I'm single, been 2 years now, and I feel hesitant.
All right. So that's what happened. But what are you hesitant for? Like, what is the thing I'm worried about? Like, what are you worried about? Like, was there, like, she cheated on you? You don't want to get cheated again. Your heart was broken because you don't want to feel rejected and left. Like, what is it? What are you scared of that you're hesitant of moving into? Like, what is the thing that you're worried about? It's a good question. Yeah, I really do want to give you praise. It's a good question. I'd like you to, not like, this is what happened. Like, what am I scared of? You know, because if you're wasting a lot of time with somebody, again, that could be that too. I just want to hear what your thing is. Let's see. Yeah. If you get cracked in the head when you walk in the door, wouldn't you start ducking? Or get a bigger door. I learned how to fix doors.
Yeah. Corey says, "Go." The fear of all the questions, the restart button. Who wants to go through that? Not me. Not me. Nope. Not doing that.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
Not interested
No.
in that game at the there's not a lot
Did
of
you
that.
say it? You were about to say at the moment?
Well, at any moment, I can't think of wanting
That's
to do that
right.
again. What's funny is I tell her, I told Chris Miller and some of the other guys that are on here too. I was like, I don't think you really have to worry about me cheating on you to be with another woman. You should probably be more concerned if all of us guys just pitched in and got our own place.
Listen, nothing against the ladies, but I get it.
I
get
you should
it.
probably be concerned if we all get like the Warriors mansion and we just like,
I know guys can be difficult, but the women are, and I'm a woman, so I'm going to say this and I don't care, but the women are nuts sometimes. Like, I'm not talking about the women in your group. I'm just talking about women in general. Like, it's tough. It is, when you are more of a logical thinker, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to follow. Men are much more simple. So,
you said it, baby.
yeah.
Yeah,
I get it.
the Warriors
Sometimes,
mansion.
I mean, I'm a
Corey.
woman. I get it. I'm also,
I told the guys
that
we'll
sometimes.
all pitch in. We'll do like what, I don't know. We'll all pay what, $1,000 a month, $800 a month. Get some 15-room building. Have a workout room, big garage. I'm like, you should probably be more concerned with us doing the Warriors mansion than me leaving you for another woman. If we ever split, babe, listen, I'm not putting any shit out there. I love you and I'm happy with you. But if anything ever happened where we weren't together,
I'm taking my TikTok account right back.
you do whatever you want. I don't care. We're going to Warriors Mansion and we're going to create some awesome
Yeah.
place where we do personal development, fitness
Oh, I'll
training.
show you crazy. I'll be knocking right on that door. Just kidding. Listen, I'm not that crazy.
That's true. It's not your thing. You'd be too busy drowning yourself in work.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm working. I'm busy. Just kidding. Yeah.
Let's see. What do you say? I don't like the guys who hold it against us, though, when we want to be friends with men. Let me say
Okay.
something. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Who
you
said
got
that? Where's it at?
Daniel, you got triggered.
Where's Danny?
She said, I don't like to hold against guys, though.
We want to be friends with men. Oh, Danny. No. No. What for? What for, Danny? What do you want to be friends with? If you're in a relationship, what do you need to have a guy friend for?
She just likes the attention. Just let her have it. She just likes
I
it.
love Danny, so it's hard to be like challenge her too much because I like her.
She just likes that the guys are on the
Listen,
queue.
girl, listen,
if
let me
there's
tell
ever
you.
a shoulder that needs to be cried
Let
on.
me tell you something. I was also that girl for a long time. No, you cannot do that. When you get a relationship, all those other boys, well, you're not in a relationship, so that's different.
Have your cue. Put them in line.
But when you do, then you got to knock the rest off. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Look at you. Granny's Undies. He says, I think it's a commitment. I don't want to break my daughter's heart if she gets attached to them, which is very, very fair. How old is your daughter? Is she really, really young, or is she like, 10 to teenager age? Not a roster, girl.
Good.
Listen, Danny, if you got a bunch of guy friends, you got a roster.
All you got to
I'm not saying that you're hooking up with all of them.
No,
I'm just saying you got
guys are only friends with girls when they want something. I promise you. Don't let them steal you any different.
It's a little different than that. It's not that they're all like every guy's just trying to have sex. I'm just saying each guy. Here's the thing with men and women is there's a degree of attraction between people. Now it doesn't always have to be physical. It doesn't always have to be something where they're like, I'm attracted to your body, but it could be like I like your sense of humor, or that person's a really good like person to share bounce ideas off of, or they're really cool because, or we have common interests. It's not always a physical thing, or it's not always a sexual thing, but there's an attraction between people that makes it tricky. Now, would that eventually lead to a physical thing, especially if opened up on the guy side? I will take the Pepsi challenge on any of you guys who think that if there was opportunity for a single guy friend, and sometimes not single guy friend, which is not good, but a single guy friend who's like, hey, listen, I'm having a tough night and I would just like some intimacy, no strings attached. It won't ruin our friendship. Are you in? It's probably going to be not a lot of friends that would pass that up. I'm just putting it out there.
They're not. And no, they're not. So if Rick and I have a mutual friend that's a guy, he will know I'll either talk to them in front of him. He'll always know about the conversation. It will never be a sidebar conversation without him knowing, ever.
Well, we have very professional relationships with our people.
Yeah. Like Philip.
Granny's Undies, you make a good point. She said the daughter is 7 years old, but sassy like a 14-year-old. Listen, we have a 13, a 15, and a 16. We know what sassy girls are like. We got them. They were turned up this weekend, so I got that. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, so, no, that's actually good concern. It's actually really good to have that boundary. She's 7. And you should vet your people out quite a bit before that, and at least a few months before you're even introducing anybody. So go through the gauntlet and make sure that this person is worth it, because you have a 7-year-old and she's impressionable at that point. So it can do harm, because she's not going to have her that trust thing that gets fucked up when we're kids to make it so we start learning we have to guard ourselves against people. She may not have a good one for that, because kids will just accept and open up to people until they get hurt. And that may be the accident that we do as parents, where you accidentally tried to get love and hurt your daughter in the process. It's a tough game, this love thing.
Yeah. There's a question. What if you find you generally connect better with the opposite sex?
Of course you do. Of course. There's so many things that popped up here. Yeah, of course you generally connect better with the opposite sex. Now, this is it's just going to be one of those things where think about this on the opposite direction here. And this is where trust is the number one part in a relationship people have to have, which most people have a hard time defining, by the way. What is trust? But you got to be able to trust your person. And if you know that there's a lot of people who I hang out with, or you hang out with, that are kind of in the queue of like, hey, we have a really great connection. We just really click. Things are just really good with us. And that's not going to cause a problem in the relationship. Now, Juzzy Wuzzy Fuzzy, I don't know if you're a guy or a girl, but just have like a person you're with, have a majority, the opposite sex, who they really connect with. And that's why I have all of these friends who I really connect with. And if you and I have an argument and we fight, I'm going to go to one of these friends who I really connect with. And that's who I'm going to be spending my time with if you and I are on the outs for any reason. And it's going to stay completely platonic, regardless of me being down and sad. We have such a strong connection.
No, I don't play that.
That it'll be totally fine. Like, even just saying it out loud, it just seems like that's a recipe for disaster. And it generally is. Is it always? There are exceptions and people who know that's not really ever a thing, or that's possible. You know, mutual friends and the boundaries are solid and that's not a thing. But it's incredibly rare. Incredibly rare. So I wouldn't suggest, like, people are like, well, that's us. I'm definitely that person. Yeah, give it time, and it may not be.
Absolutely.
Generally speaking, the only roadblock is just that women are saying no. I'm not even trying to put my guys down. Phil, you can vouch, I guess. Like, if it came down to, like, hey, green light for you, odds are it's gonna be a green light. Oh, jeez. Playing around Andrea. Oh, he's goofing. I don't know why it shows all the people who join and stuff. It's so much.
Oh my gosh.
What?
That comment.
Oh my God, Bilbo.
I can't.
That's hardcore.
I can't read that aloud. Personally, I have a line I don't cross with people generally, and I'm stupidly honest with my partner. But the generally threw me off.
Yeah, and the stupidly
I don't
honest?
cross with the people generally. No, I wouldn't do it. No.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's stupidly honest, because, like, the honest part may not be being stupid unless you're doing something that would be like, that's a violation to our agreements for loyalty.
Yeah. And Danny, you're right. The women bring so much drama, and she said female friends end up being too competitive and for no reason.
There's a reason.
There is a reason. Yeah. It's hard, I think, too. The older you get, I'm 43. I had to think for a second.
You just changed.
And it's interesting. It's naturally harder to find friends when you're older, but I really struggle with it because I don't trust a lot of women in general. And I also want people to also be on kind of their growth journey as well. And it's very difficult to find. Very difficult.
Women are designed to compete with each other. It's just not like how guys do. Guys, if there's a competition, they'll try and, like, how do I better myself so I'm chosen? Women will do a lot more tactically shady things to try to do a reputation demolition and tear somebody down so that they are the one who's the most likely choice. It kills friendships pretty hard. It's not the same fight at all.
I hate it. And if you use the golden rule and you have female friends that are like that, they would hate it if they did something like that to you that they wouldn't want done to them.
True.
Yeah. Shannon said the women that do that always have an internal reasoning of why they justify their actions. That is women in general with every situation.
Denial is the hardest curse for women. It's across the board. I haven't had any women that I've worked with yet that denial isn't the foundation of their curses. When it comes down to being able to protect themselves, the reality is usually not as fun as my truth. And so the truth is usually completely masked in some way, shape, or form with my truth.
Well, it's the my truth, and it's the my truth without doing any work to question your own behavior. So instead, the women are going to, I guess more people, but women in general will, if they're not doing any work on themselves, they will take their patterns of which they've grown up with and become an adult now with these behaviors, and they will never challenge it. So they'll also think nothing's ever wrong because they don't take the time to challenge their own behaviors, and that's where the problem is.
Well, their feelings are the authority.
Yeah.
And their feelings are allowed to judge and justify and have the emotional responses they want. But they've never had to have it challenged. They've never had to. And this goes into the Disney princess conversations we've had and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And if you go on social media, especially this app, it can be a nightmare with people being so mean. And I see it often. And majority of the time, it's the women. It's the women that are bashing other women. And in the same breath, they're like, women should support women, but you're not. Like, and I see that often. And here's another thing, too, that I'm finding. So I'm taking an Enneagram course, which I'm almost finished with, and I'll have my certification to be an Enneagram coach. And even in that class, it's interesting how many people how many women, because it's only women, how many women just do not openly share about the challenges they have personally. Mm-hmm. They're very quick to talk about other people's challenges or their friends' challenges, but they're not open about their own.
Yeah.
So it's interesting when you start seeing patterns so consistently with you coaching women and just in this group and just in life. It's interesting. And what I do with that information is then asking myself, shit, am I doing this too? Because I'm also a woman. And there have been times where I have to challenge my own self. I have to do it often. And sometimes I do not want to. But when you do, it starts to free you up from like living your life on autopilot.
Yeah, it's tough. Looks like people don't agree. I actually would like to hear what you guys would say the answer would be if you disagree.
Who disagrees?
I don't know. Say it again, you last. Or Angel and Christy are back and forth. I don't know if that means agree or don't agree. But it's a good perspective, and I like that you're doing your own assessments. It's definitely it's tough things to do. The introspection, I think it does go back into the truth, my truth versus the truth. But ladies, denial is in there. It is the main curse that women have because the reality of it, it's usually not as good. The reality to it isn't as good. And it's also true, the way you said that women come in far more guarded than the men do. It is very true. Yeah. When I get a new men's group, like they're able to open up and start going in and they really test each other out. Can I trust this group? Women, it's a few weeks before somebody has the courage to go, let me put it out there. Let me see what happens. Let me see if this hurts. And usually it may even be on accident. And so with my guys, though, when my guys come in, they're like, all right, listen, I've never done this before. I avoid being able to work on my stuff. Having a group is difficult for me, but I'm going to give it a go. And there's always that one guy who's like, fuck it, I'm going, dudes. Yeah. And when that guy does it and you can see that there's no blame, no shame, no judgment inside the group, then it's like almost green light for all the guys to go, dude, I could hear myself in what you were saying. Let me share too. And it creates a brotherhood bond very quickly. But the ladies, they have a lot more on guard. And you're not wrong. The reputation demolition or like I think Shannon was showing, like she had people just trying to tear down her character without even being able to go, hey, I know you. They don't know you. And they still want to tear you down and destroy you. And it's such an interesting behavior.
It really is, because a lot of times in these groups, at least the group I'm in, no one knows each other, and so I wonder, like, what is the reason why they're not being so open and sharing when this is a group where we're all supposed to be learning about each other. I don't care. Like, I'll share. But I also know that I'll probably never, ever talk to these people again, so I don't care. But I also wonder, like, are these other women thinking, well, if I share too much, then someone's going to judge me? And I know those Enneagrams are all about personality types. So I know those personality types are in there for sure. And that's a real thing to them. But that would be the part of having them move past it. So they understand, like, it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. It is up to you to own, like, and be your authentic self and show up as that without, it doesn't matter who else is in the room or who else is around. Don't try to impress people and do the things that you want them, that they think that you should be doing. So, that makes sense? Or did I get it backwards?
I think
you get it.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody got it.
They all got it. They all got it. Yeah, and there's a degree of competition. There is a competition in there too. Women do compete with women, and it's so backwards. It's not the same as guys. Hypergamy systems are very different than how guys work. Very different. It is not the same system at all. And women will compete for a guy who's like sought after. And so it's not the same where guys are like less interested in a girl that's been with all the guys. But if there's a guy that all the girls wants, like if all the women like, oh my God, he's so great, we all want him. For some reason, there's this like, can I get him? I don't know what that built-in hypergamy system is, but they're trying to get the highest value mate. And that competition is in there, but it's not about trying to improve yourself to be the best. It's about how do I gossip and destroy her so that I'm the obvious choice. It's a very different system. But a high valued man, or a man who has high values, is definitely going to be somebody who women would still choose, but guys don't do it the same way. It's not chosen the same way. Guys don't want a girl who's with every guy, but it would be the other way around. It's really interesting stuff to watch the behaviors. It really is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's up, Brandon?
Hey,
Good to see you,
Brandon.
bro. Just Brandon, I'm not putting any pressure on you, but brother to brother, like, I'm here for you, man. I know you've been going through some shit, and I'm here for you. If you just want to talk it out, or even just, brother to brother, let's do it. Like, I know you're going through it. You don't have to go it alone, and I work with a lot of other high value coaches. You've been listening to Les McDaniels, and I have been working. He works with a huge group for front row dads, and a lot of, like, we team up all the time. You see me teaming up with other big coaches and people who are established, other authors, other podcasters. We all team up, man. So come and hang out with me, dude. Just come and hang. Like, brother, just come on. I know you're going through some shit. Let's team up. Let's
Well, I
rock
think
shields.
I've been watching his videos because I'm on TikTok more than he is.
That's true.
Yeah, and I feel like he's doing good, but he's here to support you. He's like, I'm actually good. Quit telling me I'm going through some shit.
We're all going through shit. We're stronger together, though, man.
That's true. Oh goodness. Being a small town, or being in a small town now that I'm divorced, it seems I can't go anywhere without being sought after. It's intimidating.
Dang.
Everybody wants Corey.
That's true. That's true. Shoot. Listen, I think we got something to worry about. Everybody wants Corey.
Yeah.
Baby, don't read his messages. Don't read it.
Yeah, the small town.
The small town curse is a real thing. We got a couple.
Conceited. No, it didn't. You're just confident. You live in a small town.
Nah.
There's not many people there.
If you got it, you got it.
Yes.
What are you gonna do?
They're like, he's
Own
really
it.
single.
Own it. We're in Illinois, Brandon. But I mean, like, whether it's in person or just Zoom call, either way, it's fine with me, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, we don't have to do any big commutes, but we're in Illinois, and if you want to hang, just like I said, just call me or message me, man. However you want to do it, we'll figure it out.
I will never live in a small town again.
No, there's a couple people I have who, like, I'm not going to spill their business, but like they hide their marriage. They have all this small town fears. There's this curses there that make it so like they're not able to be who they really are. And it's this small town judgments. Everybody knows everybody, and they get in everybody's business. It's not good.
It's annoying.
Yeah. The ketchup bottle. What do you mean by that, Danielle? If there's a story to it, like, do you mean like how to hit the right spot, or is there some sort of an analogy there?
Yeah, Cook County is just a tad different than Alabama.
Very different.
Just a little. Chris, that's a huge issue where I live. Yeah, I had to move in order to get out of the small town I was in. No good. Do you guys think exes can be friends after being apart for longer than they were together?
If they have kids, they can be cordial, but I don't know about being like super close friends.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that we should be. I'm not friends with any of my exes. There's not a conversation that needs to be had with my exes. They all moved on with their life. I've moved on with my life. It didn't work out for a reason, and so that's okay. And I'm not mad about it, and they're not mad about it. It's not needed. They got their life, we got our life, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a great idea. It makes a lot of instability for like the next relationship you're going to be in, because it's always going to be questioning, like, that was somebody who you were very attracted to, somebody who you liked more than just physically, and you guys had things in common enough to make it so that you guys dated for a while, and I'm going to keep that person around.
It's a backup.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's a safe place for somebody to invest their heart into.
Nope.
Yeah, so just putting it out there, it's more of a golden rule thing. And then if you just say a lot of these things, if you say them out loud or answer our own questions, we're like, yeah, it kind of makes sense when you say it out loud.
Yeah.
Hey, baby, that person I used to be with and I was attracted to in multiple ways, I'm going to keep hanging out with them. Cool?
Yeah, go ahead, but I will not be hanging out with you anymore. That's how that would go.
But after we break up, we
I'm not talking to you.
should still hang out.
No, not talking to you.
Am I? Oh, okay.
Not doing that. I don't get me started on that. I don't play that game. No.
You're gonna have what was it before Fake Rick? Like, remember Fake Rick is dead? You killed Fake Rick?
Oh, last time, the last live I was going, I was, I get heated. There's a couple topics I get a little heated about.
Yeah, Frick is dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fake Rick.
I don't play that. Oh my gosh.
Fake Rick is dead. R.I.P. Fake Rick.
Dave says, yeah, it's definitely weird when one of them tries to keep in contact for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you want to see some stuff? All right. I'm gonna hate this for myself. Let me show you guys some of the artwork we got. So some of the stuff back here. This is Corey Smith artwork, and so I buy the Corey Smith art, and you can't see the Iron Man back there, but I buy his artwork and then I color it. And I just bought the frames for a Ninja Turtle set that I've got.
Oh yeah, he sees a lion too. So we both have, mine's over there. But we both had lions where they were like at each other, one on my side of the office and one on his side. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. I'm such a stickler for the setup though. So even like turning that as I'm like, ooh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got the, yeah. I did the artwork. I actually got really into changing I got more into the hyper realistic coloring. And so I would color it realistically. And I got really into watercolor with colored pencils. And so I would like get the pencil wet, and it's almost like painting with a colored pencil. It's really difficult and kind of unforgiving, but I did 4 of these like that, and it's really cool looking. It looks really realistic, and I got the shading, like it got a lot of versatility. It's really
he has all 4 of the Ninja Turtles too.
Yeah, I just framed them, so
I know
I'm gonna hang them up this week.
Yeah. Our live keeps pausing. I'm on. I just saw that too. Corey says that's the hardest part about co-parenting. We have to communicate. Yeah, I have to communicate with my ex-husband too, and it's
first few years were a mess, but yeah, we're fine now.
He's nonsense. Yeah, no, it is a business transaction.
Yeah.
So there's still some nonsense messages sometimes that sends. I just ignore them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like it's just having those boundaries. It's no problem. Yeah, but it's got to be a business relationship. It just has to be. Fortunately, I didn't bring any kids to the table to have an ex to have a business relationship.
Because I had enough for him.
You had enough. You had us covered.
Oh my gosh. I give him so much credit. Because I don't, if he had 3 kids and I was single.
And my crazy ex.
I would be like, it's a lot.
I'm going to put it out there for the step parents. It is one of the most thankless and difficult jobs that I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Like, no matter how much you sacrifice, and this is something that is not given enough credit for, you're not there doing what you do for the kids because you have to. Mm-hmm. You're there because you choose to. And it is not as appreciated. Mm-hmm. You don't get as much love. You get turned down when it comes to any kind of there's not a lot of understanding, not a lot of care. And your commitment level may be 10, but the other parents can do 2, and they still get all the credit. No matter how much you do, not enough.
Yeah.
And it's a really difficult job, and it sucks. It's a very painful job. I'll share some. I haven't shared this with you, but this was something I was sorting out yesterday. Honestly, I think my heart was hurt a little bit from the girls this weekend. I think it hurt my heart. Because it wasn't very nice, and it hurt my feelings. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whatever you need, I'll be there. Whatever you want, let's go do it. And it was not treated kindly. And it did hurt my feelings. It hurt my heart. This is a thankless job. Mm-hmm. And no matter what you do, it's uphill battle until years later when they go, actually...
Yeah.
I realize now that you're a very great resource, but when I was a teenager, I didn't understand that.
Well, yeah. And it doesn't make it easier for either one of us at this point. We have 3 girls, and they're all teenagers. Mm-hmm. And so... and
knowing the phases doesn't help. It's still really mean.
They really... Yeah, it doesn't help. And you never know who or what you're going to get. And out of the 3 girls, too, one of them, the oldest, is also not my daughter either. So I call her, she's my daughter, but she's technically my stepdaughter. and it's not his either. So we both are step parents, but he's a step parent to all of them. I'm a step parent to one out of the three. So it's is being a parent in general and a step parent is tough. And then to take on someone else's kids is also very tough. Because like he said, I think sometimes being a parent is rewarding in moments, but it's a very thankless job. But I also knew that going in to be a parent, I was like, I that's just what you do.
Yeah, but I'm putting it out there, like being a parent, like I'm mom, I'm dad is different than stepmom, stepdad. It just is.
Oh, it absolutely
It
is.
just is. It's
Yeah.
very different. And so
Yeah.
like it's
agree.
tough, you know? And so being like the parent, you can still get like that's my parent. When you're bonus parent, you're volunteer, not obligated. You're volunteer. I choose to be there for you. If I choose you, it means I choose you. I choose
Yeah.
you. I choose you. I don't have to. I choose you.
Yeah.
And even that is like
They don't-
not appreciated.
Yeah, they don't get it. And they appreciate it in moments. We just don't know what the moment's going to be.
Yeah, at any given day, it's going to be like, hey, good morning. They're like, hey. Or it's going to be like, and I'm like, it's your day to be not nice
Until
for
they want
no
something.
reason.
Yeah. They're, but overall they're good kids. They're teenagers or teenage girls, but we try to teach them the best we can to be respectful,
And it's tough though, because we also have them be like, be yourself, be authentic, be that stuff, and sometimes that backfires too, because I'm like, that was really mean. I hope that wasn't as authentic as you're acting. Yeah. Yeah, but there's phases. The teenage phase of being a jerk is everybody's
Yeah,
got to
it's hard because they're trying to figure it out. Like, what is the line? Because we joke around often too, and so like,
Okay.
you know.
Let's play the game. What is the line for parents versus step parents? Is it exactly the same? Is step parents line exactly the same as a real parent's line?
No, it's different.
Very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the same. So where's the line?
No, I was saying like joking around. That's what I was saying.
Again, like that's what I mean is like if you do the same behavior I do, it's very different. Like if you're like, sit down now, they're like, but if I go, sit down now, you're like, oh my gosh, you're yelling. Oh my gosh, everybody, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it does feel
Oh my
more intense.
gosh. I'm like, you just did the same exact thing. And
I'm
you're
like,
like,
you're so aggressive.
but I like my way better.
I think it is too, is because they take me seriously, but I really have to like be very firm for them to get it. Where you can say it once and they get it, and I've really had to learn that in our dynamic, and you rarely ever.
I'm way easier on them than you, and they still think I'm the mean one. And I'm like, I let you guys get away with
Because you look
murder
mean.
all the time. And you're like, yeah, but that one time was you're like, you got a little rough. I'm like, I just said don't do it, or I take something you like away.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's tough. Yeah, it's not the same line though. That's for sure. So props and testament to all the step parents out there who volunteer for this level of teenager abuse, because like I know that by the time they're in their 20s, they'll go, wow, life has really kicked our ass. I can see you tried to prepare us. Now I get it. But it's more like that Mark Twain quote where he's like, when I was 14, my
You
dad.
didn't tell me nothing. Like, go ahead.
Thank you, baby. You just needed to go. Like, but the Mark Twain quote where he's like, when I was 14, my dad was ignorant. He didn't get it. He seemed kind of stupid. And I was amazing by the time I was 21 how much he'd learned in just 7 years. Like, I was astonished.
That's funny.
And so I feel like I'm in that phase where it's kind of like, okay, you're, 13, 15, 16. You know best for sure. And so I'm looking forward to in your 20s where you're like, oh, you really get it.
Yeah.
I didn't think that you did, regardless of how often you were correct.
Yeah. I like that they challenge your authority. I honestly, it's irritating sometimes, but I also can appreciate it too. And I know he can because he's a challenger by nature. And all the girls are different, so not all of them challenge, But well, I guess they all do challenge. Yeah, they challenge in different ways. Our middle one is so persistent and persistent and persistent and persistent, and it's going to serve her really well in life. But right now, she's in a phase where it just drives me literally up the wall. But I try not to give her a hard time for that because it's a good trait. You
Well,
just
we have
learn
to do
use
healthy
it.
boundaries. We have to have a healthy boundary with it, and she knows to go to you because you'll give in at some point, real quick. I'm like, nah, we're not going to do that, and she's like, okay. But when it's you, it's like, yeah, but mom, what if I do this? Well, maybe I'll do this. Well, what if I add this? What if I drive? Well, maybe I'll take care of it. I got that. Well, what if I pay for half? And you're like,
Oh, she wears
fine.
me down. I know. I know. What advice for good men who keep getting friend zoned? Talk about switching topics here.
It depends. Like, there's a few things. It depends on the styles guys are doing. Friend zoned is an interesting thing, and I'd have to like give me a scenario, and I can let you know like this is where it goes wrong. So give me a personal one where like, man, I keep getting friend zoned. What's your approach? And we'll help you out, bro. Like, no problem. Also, Bree had a good one. She said, "What do I do when I'm trying to do all the right things, but there's no reciprocation?" You'd have to. I would do it. One of our things that we do is understand yourself. You have to know thyself, and with that, you have to know what your values are, and know what your boundaries, know what your standards, know your non-negotiables. And if you're with somebody who does not value your values and does not match what it is that you're trying to look for reciprocation, it's going to be a tough dynamic. Now, if you're in a committed relationship for a long time and it has evolved into being a non-reciprocal relationship, I'd find where the missing piece is. There's something that happened where you guys went from we're good to not good. Something got broken. Something's bent. Something's not working. Well, let's go ahead and work on that thing so that way we can get back to dating again versus feeling so complacent we don't have to put the effort in. So yeah, Bree, if you said something happened, I'd like to know like where that was. So you're 10 years married. Something broke. There was something that happened where like the effort went away. So I don't know if it's complacency. I don't know if there was an argument. I don't know if there was a betrayal. I don't know what happened, but something happened to make it so somebody who was the person you chose as the best person you could get has somehow turned into why should I even try? Something happened. And I would be kind of curious to see what it was that did happen because that's pretty tough. Looks like you guys are getting into this. Johnny Greggs, what are you getting into here?
He's not getting anything.
Looks like don't put him on a pedestal. Let's see. Maybe I'd like to see. I'd like to know like kind of what his thing was for getting friend zoned because a lot of times we try and be like the nice guy, but it ends up not being nice guy. It ends up kind of being like servant or beta or grovel or just and it's not attractive when it comes to like safety, security, reassurance. And you go like, I'm just going to do all the nice guy stuff. I'm going to help lift her up so she can be the leader, and that'll make her appreciate me more. It doesn't. It doesn't. What I would suggest to you is be on your purpose, man. Like find out something that you are like, I want to do something with. I'm on mission. I'm going to be building a thing or working on myself, or I'm going to be doing a thing for me. And like, that's attractive. It's kind of like, here's what I do. I look at these nice guys. It's like this. If any of you have a dog, you'll understand this. I'm not calling women dogs. I'm just saying, if you have a dog, you'll get this. If you were to take your dog and say, let's go for a walk, and you got the leash and you went out and your dog's like, yes, let's go. Your dog gets pumped for a walk, and you walk outside and then you just stand still. Like you got the dog outside, you're good, you got the leash, the dog's in, you're in, it's good. And the dog's gonna be like, all right, cool. And at first it'll be like walking around and kind of like, all right, we're going for a walk, we're not going for a walk, but then it'll just walk in circles and then it'll start getting distracted and then probably just sit down and wait for like, what are you doing here? And then maybe it'll just like lay down and kind of be like, all right, I thought we were going for a walk. I guess we're just gonna stand here. And then eventually a dog goes like, so we're not going anywhere. We're just standing here. And you're like, well, I just wanted to get you. And now that I got you, I don't know where I'm going. I just wanted to get you. And so now we're outside and I don't know where I'm going to go. So I was just happy that I'm here with you. And the dog's like, I wanted to go for a fucking walk. I wanted to go for a walk and we're not going anywhere. This relationship's going nowhere. And the dog starts digging holes and getting annoyed and, getting agitated. Like, have a place that you want to go. Yeah, have a purpose. Work on your thing. Improve you. Keep working on your stuff. That's attractive. I'm working on my thing. I have a place I'm going to go. I do a thing. I'm working my ass off to improve in some way, shape, or form. If you want to come with me. And they're like, hell yeah, I do. I love when my man's on mission. I love when my man's working on his stuff. I love that he's got a goal or ambition or a dream he's going for. It's very attractive. But if your goal is just to go outside and you caught your girl and you stand still, not attractive. Now, again, it's not about, not calling girls a dog, but I do know that, hey, I want to go for a walk with my person. I want to go somewhere. I want to be growing somewhere. I want to be moving. But if you're the kind of person who's like, I want to go get you and then not go anywhere, it's definitely not going to be a very fun relationship. It's going to start getting old real quick. So there has to be something you guys are working on. If you don't have that piece, expect to get friend zoned. You're not. What's the thing? And I wish it was. I wish guys could just go love me for who I am. It doesn't work though. That's not what it is. You can't go on your first date. We make jokes about this. If I got on a first date with you, hi there, hey, good to meet you. I've already looked at places we can move in together. There's some cute places. The kids, when we have kids, there's some good school zones. I think I've already scouted out some places. You're going to really love it.
I'm in.
Yeah, you just immediately.
Sounds great.
I need no information. Just love me for who I am and don't worry about anything about what I do, where I'm going, where I've been, what I'm in, my situation, my 5-year plans, none of that stuff. You don't know anything about me. Nothing. I'm just me and love me for who I am. Let's just say I don't know if there will be a second date.
No one should be doing that.
But that's the game plan my ladies will walk in with. Love me for who I am. Doesn't matter what I do.
Right.
So it's pretty funny. We can't do that. You got to know your stuff. And I think it's beginning to be a thing where both sides need to know their stuff, because you can't go in there and do it that way anymore. If we want to have an equal play, we both got to know what we're bringing to the table. We both got to be able to go hey, here's my value and values. This is, where I stand on things, is a loyalty. A lot of times there's this big push to be in polyamorous relationships, which just creates massive mistrust. And so are we monogamous? Are we going to be you and me only? What's our, agreements as far as our relationship goes, where we don't betray each other? Where are your lines that you're looking? Can we make agreements? Stuff like that's how are we a match? And it's got to be what we understand. Everything. I'll give you the whole list on a first date.
That's good.
Now you guys should at least have a basic idea of where you stand on stuff, though. If you don't know, even the basics for yourself, it's a confusing thing.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah.
I'd get on a checklist.
First date, you put your whole story out there.
Yeah.
Listen, no, you don't.
You went to polyamorous.
Jeez. Yeah, it's. I mean, people do. People are I want to be in a open relationship. That's what they're looking for. If you're hey, listen, that's not my thing. Thank you very much. I'll, there'll be a different date next time. Different person. Just what are you looking for? If you don't know, it's going to be a tough way to decide. But if you can't just go in and love me for who I am, it doesn't work like that. So it's going on both sides. And some ladies are getting pissed off at the girls who are like, hey, don't make it so we have to know our resume too. Mm-hmm. I liked love me for who I am. That was awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it starts getting difficult if I said, say 3 things about you that are interesting, that have nothing to do with your looks. Mm-hmm. And you go, oh, shit.
What am I bringing to the table?
Love me for who I am. If I was you're truly passionate about something and I want to really know what really drives you, what is something that you just are so into you could talk 12 hours about and never get bored because you love it so much? What is your favorite thing? What's something you're passionate about? Mm-hmm. And if you're oh, I like music. I'm everyone likes music.
Dates.
Yeah. I like when people pay for my dates. You know, if they're,
Yeah.
but you know, I love to read. I like, you said I like to read. I enjoy hiking, and I like exploring metaphysics. So out of those, I would want to know more about what about metaphysics, because hiking, cool, read what, but what metaphysics is the only thing that's different. So I'd be like, I'm really interested in that. Why metaphysics? I want to hear what makes you really interested. What about that has got you really jazzed up, and why is that something that you're like really into? And if it's just like, no, I just know a little bit about it, I'd be like, we can't call it a passion because, like, you know, it's like people saying jet skiing is a passion. Sorry, Phil, too soon. I know. Listen, look, you saw Phil. Phil had a jet skiing accident, but as far as he's good, we joke. He's good. He's good, babe. Phil, tell her you're good. You see her face right now. But in any case, I'd be like, let's really know about you and what makes that so exciting. And if it's like, well, I just know a little bit about it, it's not really a passion. It's like, I like jet skiing, but you're not a jet skier. You just do it once in the summer. You see Luke and dress. So come on, guys, it's funny. Ashley says 10 years of trying to make it work with somebody whose actions don't match their words. Trying to forgive myself for the time spent. I guess what's the opposite option here for you, Ashley? Like, if you're not able to forgive yourself for something that's already done, what's the other option? Don't forgive yourself for something you can't change? Like, you went through that 10 years, which took you a really long time to learn the lesson, granted, but you learned the lesson. So at what point can you go, I'll give myself some grace for, being a hopeless romantic and trying to make it work with somebody who I saw the red flags, or at least now I know what those red flags are and don't have to hold on to that anymore. Give yourself some grace. What happened has happened. What did you learn from it? And don't repeat it. That's what you had to go through that for. So give yourself some grace. That happened.
Try not to repeat it.
The flipper, Phil. Oh, the inside jokes. Is it manly? Let's see. It's mainly a situation where they said they didn't deserve me. And
Told their sister I was too good to be true.
Wow. There's something missing here, man.
Yeah.
That sounds like bullshit. Let's just be real. If you're like, this guy is too awesome, says no one ever. There's a miss here. There's something else that I'm running into. Because, like, I've never heard anybody go, this guy's too good to be true.
I've said that.
Yeah.
And then after that usually comes, there's got to be something wrong with him. Sure enough, there usually is.
Yeah, there's something else happening here. There's something else. Something's afoot.
Something's going on.
Get the investigators.
Where's the red flag? Sometimes it doesn't come till years later. Surprise! There they all are.
What
They
is
were
it?
all over the wall, and the first time I've seen them. So long. Yet they were there the whole time. Yeah, there is damage in them, and they aren't being honest. I have heard it. I have heard women say it.
Brandon, we've been live for about an hour and 20 minutes. We're probably going to bounce out in a little bit here. We've had a full day. She's had a full day. I've had a full day. So I'm pretty tired. But yeah, we'll probably be on for a few more, but not going to be on too much longer. But I definitely want to hear from you later, Brandon. That'd be cool.
I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I just keep reading your comments. So he says, I swear on everything I love that. Then she went back to her ex who cheated on her twice.
You talking about Joaquin?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe like,
I'm glad. Yeah.
listen, let's just be real here, dude. She may have been pretty or whatever you liked about her, but like she could see that this is where she believes her worth is. Let's just put it out there. Let's just call it what it is. If she's like, you're too good to be true, I need to be with someone who cheats on me, you can see where her value for herself lies. Her worth is at that level. And if she would turn down something really good, which be thankful for, because she would probably just rip you apart. Because her self-worth isn't healed up. And so she feels like her value is based on someone, like being with someone who doesn't value me. That's her thing to heal.
Yeah.
And if she's going to treat herself that way, how good do you think she's going to treat you, man?
Yeah.
You have to find somebody who at least has a value high enough to say, I value you, you value me in the same level. But if she's got a self-sabotage system in there to be able to go with somebody who treats her poorly, thank God for unanswered prayers, man. because that one would have hurt.
Yeah.
You couldn't save that one. I'm sure you would try to, but it's going to cost you. Not good.
Relationship triggers, how damaging can they be, and how do you know them?
Really tough. So here's the thing. When you've got your work life, your friend's life, your love life, they're different rules. Very different rules. There's an HR department at work. There's no HR department for your relationship. And a lot of the stuff that you try to do in your relationship is all based on people who have terrible training. And so you're trying to navigate this entire system of love, which good luck telling me what it even is, with an entire system that's based on trust, which please tell me what is trust and how do you do it?
Yeah.
Trying to respect each other, which I'd also like the definition for respect and how you make that work. And then somehow we have to also deal with things that we don't have control over. We're trying to give our full heart to, and then being able to navigate this without like screwing up that person from our past transgressions and things we haven't let go of. Good luck.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. Put your whole heart in there and
Yeah.
let's see how it goes.
Yes.
Yeah, good luck. Our coping mechanisms are all designed when we were a child. We don't have any systems to be able to explain the right ways to do things. We just know the stuff that was done to me, I didn't like that, so I'm going to try and do it different. But there's a lot more ways to do it wrong than do it right. And we're with people who give terrible relationship advice from people who are online, who don't even have happy marriages, who are telling you how to make yours work without even knowing you.
Yeah.
We can give you some basic pieces, but are we going to tell you how you should be running your relationship? No. Are there behaviors we can see patterns to? Sure. Does that mean that's who it's going to work for you? Maybe, maybe not. Give it a shot. You get to try it out, but
Yeah.
we see some really bad advice out there. And some of the stuff that we even do, it works perfect for some people, but it's not for everybody. So some videos that we have work for this person's relationship, and some we have works for this person's relationship. Use the ones that work best for you. No harm in trying.
Yeah.
Thanks, Olette. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Yeah. But definitely relationships, there will be triggers, and you'll know what those triggers are when the next person you're with starts doing them. You'll know very quickly. I love that train. That was cute. You'll know what they are. I mean, when him and I started, when we got together, I had triggers that I was unaware of until he started doing similar things. And I was like, I don't like this. That is not, no. And we had to talk through it, and I had to work through it too. And it can mean something completely different when you're with someone new. But to you, if you're triggered by it, it means the exact same thing, and no one can tell you any different. So
my truth, not the truth.
My trigger was having the phone placed face down. It still is. I'm like, what are we doing here? And I've had to work through it, and I don't call it out every time, but there's moments I'm like, why is your phone upside down?
Yeah, she doesn't realize too, like, watch your hand. I just do this and just throw my phone, and sometimes it lands face up, and sometimes it lands face down. I don't care.
But she
has the password. I don't give a shit.
But once we were officially committed to each other, like we have each other's information. We have each other's passwords. I'm logged into half of his shit that he has. He can get into my stuff. My passwords are in the next room on a piece of paper. So like, there's that kind of things, those types of things too, that you can also talk through in a relationship dynamic and come to agreements on those things. What are you laughing at?
Phil, he's doing an inside joke with Perry. He's like, every other time it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Until it's not.
Yeah, we do a joke where like, even though everything's all screwed up, he does the denial thing. So it's a denial joke. Like, it's fine. I'm fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. I'm good. It's fine. It's like,
You sound like the guy in Family Guy.
It's not fine.
Don't worry about it.
I'm good. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty good question, though.
Yeah.
Good one on that one.
It doesn't distract me. Face down, phone, so it doesn't. Yeah, I get you have your reasons. Absolutely.
Yakin Hagar. Is that the guy who was the guy with the face? Is that who that is? I'm trying to remember what the name was. Is that the guy who trained Arya and like the faceless men? Is that who that is? It's been a while since I watched Game of Thrones, but I'm pretty sure that's the dude, right? The faceless man. Is that who that is? Yeah. That was awesome. I did like that dude, probably the most. They did not do I was hoping so much for an Assassin's Creed twist there, and it just never happened. It was really disappointing. In any case, that's just my own thing. I thought the faceless man thing was cool, though. You'd never watched an episode. We're good, baby.
Of what?
Game of Thrones.
Yes, we watched it together. Remember we did a live and I dressed up as what's her face?
As what's her face?
Yeah, Scalisi.
Scalisi.
What's her name?
It was definitely Scalisi.
You know what everybody knows what I'm talking about. If you don't know, you do know. You're just going to challenge me.
Yeah.
What is her name?
Scalisi.
See? Knew it.
You nailed it, baby.
I don't know what it is.
That's my bae. It was Khaleesi. You were close.
Scalisi. Oh
Scalisi. She's the Italian Khaleesi.
Same thing.
Scalisi.
Same thing. Same thing.
Nailed it.
What are my thoughts on Snapchat?
Oh, shit. Fake Rick is about to die.
No, if you're in a relationship, I'll make this quickly and I will not go off like I did a couple weeks ago, okay? Because I know you're doing this probably to like get me fired up, and you know how quickly I do get fired up about this. No, if you're an adult and you're in a relationship, you do not need Snapchat. You don't need it. What do you need it for? No, you don't need it. Delete it. Snap cheetahs, right? Mm-hmm. Cheaters, not cheetahs.
I think that's the implication.
I know. I got it. Yeah. No, we
Yeah.
don't. We don't do
fake
Snapchat
Rick-
in this house.
If Fake Rick were to download Snapchat, what would that mean, babe?
That you're snapping somebody else that you shouldn't be, and you have secrets.
Fake Rick would have secrets on his Snap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No one needs Snapchat as an adult. What do you need it for? And if you tell me the filters, you find a different one. Mm-hmm.
Fake Rick don't need filters. You better find a different app for that.
Chat Snap. Yeah.
Chat Snap.
No, we don't have Snapchat in this house.
Yeah, Fake Rick, he doing some sus activity. Not good, Fake Rick.
Yeah, I don't play. Snapchat's just, in my opinion and my judgment, it's odd. It's odd. If you are in a relationship and you have Snapchat, no, something shady's happening. I'm saying it. I'm gonna say it. I believe it.
Fake Rick wanted to use those filters that are fire, though.
It is a
Fake
garbage
Rick,
app in a
if Fake
relationship.
Rick wanted those, he'd be cheating.
Yeah, I'd be like, why all of a sudden do you have Snapchat?
We took it away
like,
from our girls too. It's not a good setup, and there's two reasons why. For starters, name anything that you're like, I have no accountability and everything self deletes to make sure like there's no evidence. Like anything that removes the evidence on its own is already an invitation for immoral behavior. Just putting it out there, it invites things to be sus, and people are like, oh well, you can change the settings for 24 hours.
No,
like listen,
you're lying.
It's designed to delete for a reason. Now, the other part to it is sentimentality. If you get in a mindset where everything that is sent to you is meant to disappear.
Yeah. How convenient.
How do you ever get, what do you think your degree of sentimentality? Like, I'm sentimental.
There is none.
Like, everything is disposable. Everything deletes. Nothing is meant to last. And so you don't have any type of mindset of like, this is important or this is valuable. Everything is just disposable at that point.
And it's it's not a good app. It's not a good app for anybody. It's not a good app if you're in a relationship with anybody. If you're single, do whatever you're going to do. If you're in a relationship as a grown-ass adult, you should not have Snapchat. There's no reason for it. Communicate in a different way. Also for children should not have Snapchat at all. It is a very dangerous app. And it took me a minute to see it. And none of our kids have it. It's not a good app. And if you think that your kids won't do something shady when they turn to be a teenager, you're lying to yourself.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
It's made to do so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Snapchat is for cheaters. For sure. There's no other reason to use it. Just kidding.
But I am just going to say, think about this. If I said, we're going to have a conversation, but it's going to automatically delete itself whenever we talk. What do you feel like you could say or do knowing no one will ever know?
Yes. And your kids will know how to work the app better than you. I think user 786 with a whole bunch of numbers. We have good kids, right? I was at least to expect some of the things were happening on Snapchat. Bullying happens on Snapchat. There's also a For Your Eyes Only that your kids know how to use. You have to have a secret passcode that you will know nothing about. Our girl had that too. And whether it's them initiating it or a guy at school is initiating it, it's not a good app for kids. There's a lot of not great things that happen on it for kids, for adults even. Adults can't manage it properly in a relationship. Kids don't have the mental capacity to understand it.
For most social media.
Yeah.
As even the guy who created Pinterest, if you watch that Social Dilemma, he's like, we had to take our kids off of this. The algorithms are designed to screw with you.
Yeah. It's the algorithm, and not to get like preachy about this, but it's the algorithm. It's also the sound frequencies too. And we're speaking from experience. We also had a daughter that got into the trap of social comparisons very heavily.
Self-harm.
Yeah.
Got into a whole lot of that stuff too.
And a lot of it stems from social media. A lot of kids go through depression from social media,
Young
anxiety.
girls.
Yeah.
Girls,
it's awful
girls are
for
targeted.
girls.
Girls are targeted.
And you want them to be like socially accepted. That was my thing. Like, I want them to like be able to talk to their friends, and we ended up taking it away from all of them. And we had to have the conversation. If your friends are really your friends, then they're going to reach out and communicate with you in the way that they're able to, which is through a text message or a phone call. And that's how they figured it out.
Yeah. It makes it really difficult too, because girls, it used to be the comparisons were going to be in their social circles, your school, your community, your neighborhood. That was the comparisons. Now it's global. It's global in every aspect. That's a really big comparison jump. You know, if you think about in our lifetime, it went from like no internet to like what it is now. What is the training for a human being's mind to know how to navigate that when our kids are in the first generation of like, they've never not known what a touch screen is. And so somehow we're supposed to be the ones who know how to handle it when the people who invented it are like, we can't handle it and we made it.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, it's a tough game on that one.
Yeah. So to answer Phil's question, no. If you're an adult in a relationship and the other person has Snapchat or you have Snapchat, it's not a good sign.
Kid Laney, how do I make my man desire me without absence? What am I missing in that question? How do I make my man desire me? Got that. Without absence. Why absence? What am I missing here, babe?
I'm taking it as, in order to get his attention, you just leave. I don't know.
Yeah, without being not there?
Yeah. You're like, I know how I can get you to want me. I'm just going to go.
I'll be
somewhere.
gone. Like, if I'm not there, you'll want me more.
And I'm going to turn off my location on Snapchat so you can't find me.
Yeah. I guess I don't understand what you mean by, like, how do I make somebody desire me without absence?
Fonder aspect.
Yeah, maybe, but even still, I don't know what that is. I mean, unless you guys are with each other every minute of every day, that can get more complicated, but...
What do you mean?
Yeah, I guess I don't understand. I would like a little more context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll wait. Like, without having to leave? Yeah.
No.
We're still waiting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I'd have to know more, please.
Yeah. We'll wait.
Let's see, like having... Everyone's trying to decode, like, what this means. They just drop their stuff in here to be like, I'm going to leave, like, a very open-ended, not enough info question, and let's see what these people do with it.
Watch them.
Let's watch them try to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like dropping some high-level, like, psych questions to mess with people. Everyone's got a different, like, answer to the question.
Is there an avoidant attachment style involved?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out the question itself.
Where do these new phrases come from? That's what I want to know.
People are trying to make it a reach. I actually don't
Do you think
subscribe to
it's,
the avoidant attachment style
but
stuff
do you
or
think people are
avoidant
just trying to put
anxious.
labels on? So again, it allows for there to be like a relatability. Well, I have PTSQ attachment
I think there's a lot of
style.
misdiagnoses right now. I have a lot of people who are misdiagnosed in a lot of categories. This avoidant attachment style stuff, I think they're trying to use it as a tool, but it creates more problems than solutions
Mm-hmm.
because it creates identity issues
Yeah.
and people start acting like the diagnosis. And even though it seems innocent on paper, telling somebody they have an avoidant anxious attachment style, people
Mm-hmm.
will start acting that
Yep.
way with justification. The same thing with bipolar disorder and different things like this, where people start acting accordingly
Mm-hmm.
because of diagnosis,
Yep.
because now they have a
Now I'm.
scapegoat or an excuse
Mm-hmm.
to really live that way or act that way with impunity.
Yep. It becomes their default. Like, oh, well, it's because I'm doing this because I have this, or I do this because of this. Like, there's no room for growth there unless you're someone that's really trying to work through it.
Yeah. Yeah, good call. Yeah, that's like a zodiac sign effect. That's the Aries effect.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Aquarius effect. I've got the Aquarius effect. I can't control myself.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think that's a real thing unless you believe it is. And then people start acting accordingly. It's interesting what we do with our belief system.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen people who don't actually have a disorder get misdiagnosed and then act like that disorder or what they believe the disorder is. It's really interesting stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you think of the things that create, like throughout your life, that can create, whether it's just, I guess, the behaviors that maybe something triggered you to have a reaction this way, and that's how you continue to react your whole entire life because that's the only way you know, but you don't ever question it. Like some of these things, like people aren't born with these labels, like they're not.
Well, it's
People
become
aren't
so
born
popular
with
too.
these attachment styles, and like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
And if that's what you want to identify with, fine. But then work through it. Like find a
Well,
solution.
there's no need to work through it if that's the diagnosis.
It makes no sense to me.
Right. Well, it's just a little more understanding needed. But a lot of times people have to be able to challenge it appropriately to be able to find like where's the missing pieces, and people don't want to put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
No.
very different than like regular therapy or counseling. There's a lot of counselors and therapists that will just listen to
Yep.
your problems and
Yep.
hear you. And, it's almost, there's a
Yep.
lot of them out there who do a lot more
There's
enabling than giving the
there's
tools.
yes. Yes.
A lot of people I work with, I got a lot of my guys who are like, I've been going to counseling for 15 years. He's like, working with you for 4
Yep.
months changed my whole life. That 15 years, they were like, here, fill this out.
Yep.
And it didn't do anything.
And I think that's why you've been so successful is because you're not just giving your opinion. Like you've been able to work with so many people where you understand the patterns of what people do and how they react to things, but you give them the tools of how to do it. You're not just giving them advice, like you're leading them to find their own solutions and guiding them through it, but giving them the tools to find their own answers. And I think that's the part that is so different from other programs that are out there. And like I said, I'm currently in a program now for Enneagrams, and it is nothing like even said to him last week, I'm like, I don't even know what the purpose of this is. Like, I feel like I'm just like hanging out in moments. And so last night or Monday night, I was asking a lot of questions, and it's just not like that. And it's a lot of coaching programs or coaches can be very fluffy, like just very surface. And this is not like that. And this
Not
program
one
is
of
not
those.
for everybody. Yeah.
I'm not one of those. I
Yeah.
haven't had anybody complete my program and say that was easy.
Yeah.
Like never. I've never had a single person who's gone through, especially the last like 4 sections. Like even
No.
Christy, she knows. She's like, Rick's a hammer. She's like,
He's a fucking hammer. He is.
yeah, this is not an easy program. It is very hard. We do the real deep work, and it's step by step. Do the work.
Yeah.
And so that's why I have a lot of other like authors, a lot of other writers, a lot of other bloggers and podcasters and PhDs and people who are in the industry, other psychologists, people who like, we all talk and they're like, dude, you're high level, man. You are out there. Like
And
people
it's-
you're doing the real deal.
And I
So
know
it's
he's
pretty
saying
awesome.
this about himself, but I do have to give him so much praise because if you're able, and we've been posting a lot more videos that show him in action, and just kind of editing the videos out. But what he does on a daily basis is so powerful. I truly haven't seen anything like it. And, other people that he's worked with, coaches and this, people overseas that he coaches every Monday are like, we've never seen anything like this. And, I'm not saying this to be like, oh, book a call, sign up. That's not what this is about. It really is just about like, this is something different. It is. It just is.
Yeah,
And,
we actually put up on our podcast, The Battlefield of the Mind. You guys should check it out. The Battlefield, I've been doing the podcast again, and I've even been putting up live calls. Like people who we did some breakthrough work, and you guys can actually hear what does it sound like when I do a real call. And you'll see the difference in people. You'll see we actually do the work on the core piece. I don't just talk about their feelings. We go, what is the thing here? Can we defeat this? Let's learn how it works, and then we'll change it. We'll work on it. We'll fix it. And these are real calls. There are real ones on there. So you'll hear coaching calls. You'll hear me working with other very well-known coaches. You'll hear me doing just calls with people who their first time call, and what does that look like? Because they've given permission. They're like, go ahead. And you'll see what it looks like when I'm working with people. So check out the podcast itself. We just started putting that up. And I wanted to show people we're really doing the shit, and check it out. Yep. If you got questions, is this guy legit? Is it really good? Is this guy really know his stuff? Please challenge it.
Challenge him.
I'll tell you what, she's getting certifications. I got a drawer of them somewhere. We've got over $100,000 in certifications and shit.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
None of it matters.
Look at Tony Robbins. He's one of the most, and I'm not going to call him a motivational speaker. The guy doesn't have a degree. Some of the most people, it's taking the information, taking all the information, making it your own, doing the work, putting in the practice, running your own, discovering your own patterns, talking to different people, literally the grind and the hustle behind this stuff. It's unreal. And, that's all I got to say about that.
Thanks, babe. Good job. Yeah, I didn't see Josh's question, Luke. I didn't see what he asked.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Shannon, do you know what your Enneagram number is?
Hey, there's Joe Harmon. Unconditional love.
Hey, Joe.
I don't see Josh's question. Let's see. I don't even see it. Yeah, Josh, just re-ask it if you can. Ugh. Let's see. How do I deal with new business stress? 2 steps forward, 4 steps back. Okay.
Yep.
Actually, there's a few factors on what's going on here because I don't know what it is, but dealing with the stress aspect, I'd have to see what your style is for dealing with stress to begin with to even know what style you're even operating under. I would, Josh, if we can talk, if you're friends with Luke, book the call and let's just talk. I'll learn what your style is, how you operate authentically, figure out what it is that you're, how you're coping and dealing with it, and then we'll create a game plan that works best for you. We're all different people, so we all handle stress in a different way, so it's hard to blanket stress. We have to figure out what is your style that you're dealing with it so we can make it so it works with you and not just this is stress. We all handle stress differently, and so I have to see how you do that, and that way we can figure out your game plan and your fighting style. Mm-hmm. So let's just have a call, man. The link's in the bio. Also, I'm gonna bounce out of here. It's been almost 2 hours. So we're just going to put out there, we did create the cure to anxiety. We're doing just a low ticket for people to be able to not only have access to information, but I'll be doing live training. It's super inexpensive. Just grab your ticket. The first 100 people will be registered to be able to work with me live, and we'll do live Q&A, and we'll be beating anxiety. I have people all over the world who I'm training how to beat it, and they're getting off their medication. They don't need it anymore. They're beating anxiety. All cultures, all races, all genders, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. It keeps working. And I'm talking about paralyzed anxiety. I'm talking about I can't deal with it. Panic attack anxiety. We're helping people. I've got guys who couldn't drive without shaking and having an attack, who are now able to drive 30, 40 miles without having an issue at all. These are huge victories.
Yeah.
We're showing how it works and how to beat it. If you want to be a part of that, go to the website, Be one of the first 100 who grabs their spot. It's super, super cheap.
Can't wait.
And we're going to be doing a very, very big deal training to be able to teach people step by step how to beat it. So that's a big part. Josh, the call with us, I just want to hear from you. That's a different thing. The podcast name is called The Battlefield of the Mind. That's the name of the podcast. It's Warrior's Way Mindset, but the podcast is called The Battlefield of the Mind. The link is also in the link tree, and it's in our website also. So check it out and check out some of our stuff. But we'd love to be able to serve you guys, and we're going to do some really badass stuff coming up. So if you guys want to be on the front line with us, we're going to be teaching how to do some badass warrior stuff for literally pennies on what we should be charging for this stuff. We're just trying to help people out. This is a need, not a greed. We're trying to really do our part to pull people out of hell because other people are trying to medicate. We're going to train you how to alleviate. We're going to get you out of there.
What you did there. Also, for the coupon code, I hate even to say coupon, but the sale code or whatever it's called, it's FIGHT. FIGHT.
It's on the front page.
Yeah.
Read for a second. It's in bold and red. Just
But for your auditory learners, it's FIGHT.
is that? Say it again. Your last. Is that Ty? I didn't know you changed your name, bro.
I know. I didn't. Yeah.
What was that noise, baby?
What?
Yeah.
Like and subscribe. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Otherwise, I'll be seeing some of you guys soon. Book a call, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with some of you live over Zoom calls soon. So otherwise, have a great night. Thank you guys for spending time with us, and let's get out of here.
Good night.
Good night.